what's going on, guys? It's a grim day here in the UK. We've got the rain pouring, the Hurricane Katyu's coming to play with us. But whatever, today we can shine a light on all that because we are playing Holy Paladin. Everybody's been asking for this guide. I'm going to give it to you guys to show you exactly what you should be doing. This is Preach on Zenidar. Now, as you may or may not know, if you've been following my channel since its inception, is this particular Paladin has been a tank since his birth. He has never healed before in his life. The last time I healed was in TBC at the very beginning, and I've got to say Holy Paladins are so much more interesting now. I'm really happy with what Blizzard have done with Holy Paladins. I think they're in a really good place now. They have so many abilities to use compared to just spamming one or two buttons as they have been known in the past. So let's look at this Pally. What are our primary things to be looking for in our Holy Paladin, guys? First of all, intellect. You need more intellect. You need more. If you have good intellect, you need more of it. If you have amazing intellect, you need more. Intellect is amazing. We want plate intellect items. More intellect is more mana, more spell power, all good, more heals, more happiness, more glory to the party, and we are in a good place if we've got a lot of intellect. We can't reforge to intellect, so our gemming is going to be very intellect based, getting as much intellect up as possible. After that, you want spirit. Now, because paladins are the only plate healing class in the game, generally all our plate items have spirit on them. So happy days. We generally get spirit passively anyway. If we do happen to pick up any items such as these gloves, which I had to pick up because my Holy Paladin's gear is a combination of crap that I've picked up while tanking, and these items here, go ahead and reforge to get some spirit. So you want intellect and you want spirit, and that is when we're in a good place. After that comes haste, guys. Haste, as we've said on all our healers, haste is the glory to the gods. Haste is going to allow us to cast more heals, our hots to do more. Our tick extras, haste is all good. The more heals we can fire out there, the more healing we're going to be able to do, and the less times we're going to get caught with our pants down, wondering, well, how the hell did this happen to me? Glory to the nation, all power to the haste. After that comes mastery. Let's have a quick look at our mastery very quickly. Illuminated healing. I just love the words and the names of the things in the Holy Tree. They just sound so glorious. They just sound like righteous spells. Illuminated healing. Basically, your direct heals are also going to put a shield on your target for 17% of the amount healed, lasting 15 seconds. Your mastery buffs that by another amount. So we want intellect, spirit, haste, mastery. That's how it's going to rock and roll for us, guys. Dead easy like that. All right, guys, let's look at our talents very quickly. Dum. In terms of gemming, just intellect there, guys. You're looking to get as much in as possible. Don't worry too much about set bonuses. What I will say is for our meta gem, which is our 54 intellect and 2% maximum mana, which is our solid meta gem, we need 2 yellow gems. Those are going to be int haste gems, guys. Generally, what I'll be looking for slots where you're going to have a yellow slot that's going to give you some sort of bonus because you have to use a yellow gem anyway. Ideally, it would be intellect, but we just don't have that on this Paladin's gear. So we had a yellow slot on our helm. We stuck that in to pick up a bit more haste. I had no other slots worthwhile on any item because it's all super shit gear. I know his item level says 359, and that is from tanking gear, guys. That is certainly not from his healing gear. So I had to stick one in my relic or librum. If you're old school like me, you know that's a librum, but these days they call it a relic, whatever. So I need to get them to activate my meta gem. All right, guys. The rest of it is int gems, all the way down. Boost your int, boost your spirit, boost your haste, boost your mastery. Get rid of crit. Crit is garbage for us. If you've got crit on an item, that is your number one go-to place to reforge. All right, guys. Very, very simple. Looking at talents, judgments of the pure. Little habit you're going to need to get into on your Holy Paladin. Our seal is Seal of Insight. Melee attacks have a chance to heal and regenerate mana. When we judge that, we get mana back, and it heals us. All right, guys. So a little habit you're going to try and get into all the time is judging every 8 seconds if possible. Even in situations of dire nature, if you feel you just have that global available to get the judge off, use it, because in the long run, that's so much more mana you're going to have over the extended fight. All right, guys, so try and get into this habit of a little finger. I was speaking to a guy from Method, Holy Paladin called Apco, a great friend of mine, and he said it's now just a natural reaction in his fingers. It's just a judge. He just knows when it's ready. He doesn't have to look. He knows every 8 seconds. He knows how many globals are in between that. He just judges. And you need to be able to do that to keep your mana up, and then you're going to really prolong the longevity of your healer. Really get him into those longer fights where he's just going to start standing out. And if you put 2 Holy Paladins together, one judging, one not, over a longer fight, you are just going to be miles ahead, guys. Miles and miles ahead. It gives us a 9% haste buff when we cast Judgment. So we want to keep that buff up, don't we? Because 9% haste is a shitload of rating. So we want that 9% haste buff. Protecting the innocent. When you heal someone else, it heals you as well. You don't have to cast heals on yourself anymore, guys. Particularly, you need to be aware of this, is that if you're taking damage and your tank's taking damage, or another party member's taking damage, go ahead and heal the other person, because through this talent, you're going to heal yourself anyway. We pick up 1 point in Last Word. Gives our Word of Glory a 30% increased crit chance. This is where crit becomes slightly devalued on targets below 35% health. So we've picked up that nice crit bonus. Should we need an emergency Word of Glory, the guys below 35% health, we're generally going to get a nice big fat crit off. Clarity of Purpose. Oh, doesn't it roll off the tongue? Reduce the cast time of your heals, Divine Light and Holy Light by half a second. So nothing special there, nothing exciting. Got to remind, but all of these cool things have cool names. They're not very exciting. Moving on to our first healing cooldown, Divine Favor. Increase your spell casting haste by 20% and spell crit by another 20%. Further devaluing crit on gear because of our Divine Favor. So this is generally more powerful than Wings, guys. Although Wings is so badass looking, Divine Favor is actually a better cooldown than Wings in most cases. So when you're in a real pickle and things are looking grim, go ahead and throw in your Divine Favor. You're going to be casting 20% faster on top of your Judgment, and then your crit chance is going to be up by 20%. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, moving on. Infusion of Light. Increase the critical effect chance of your Holy Shot by 10%. Ooh, there another devalue of crit. In addition, your Holy Shot crit effects increase the cast time of your Flash of Light, Divine Light, and Holy Light by 1.5 seconds. This, you may or may not know, makes your Flash of Light instant cast, but it still costs the mana. So although our Flash of Light is our very fast, very expensive heal, Infusion of Light will make it instant cast, but it's still going to get that big, heavy mana cost burn on you. Let's do the quick demonstration. Watch the mana. This is Holy Light, our go-to cheap, effective spell. Very little mana. Then we have Divine Light, which is a high spell, but a little bit more mana. See, that costs a chunky bit of mana. And now we have Flash of Light. Very fast, but look at how quickly you can empty your mana bar by casting Flash of Light. Really ridiculous mana usage. Look at that, nearly half mana straight away. So watch out for that, guys. Flash of Light still has that big, heavy mana burden on it, although it becomes instant cast. Daybreak. Your Flash of Light, Holy Light, and Divine Light have a 20% chance to make your next Holy Shock not trigger a cooldown. So you can then start turreting Holy Shocks out, which is really nice, fast, instant cast heals, like boom, boom. And remember, our Holy Shock is our primary generator of Holy Power, our combo points. And when we've got 3 Holy Power, we can go ahead and we can either use Light of Dawn or Word of Glory, depending on whether we're single targeting or AoEing, guys, alright? So we'll think about that as we get further down the tree. Enlightened Judgment, so again, we're buffing our Judgment. What is this doing? It's turning our Spirit into hit, so we no longer got to start missing our Judgments because we generally have a shitload of Spirit, more than we would need to hit. And it also makes our Judgments instantly heal us for 5k. So really nice. So we're keeping that Judgment on cooldown. Our Judgments are always going to hit because of our high value of Spirit from healing gear. So we're now going to make sure our Judgment's working with us like a baller. Beacon of Light. Beacon of Light is a lovely little talent, and it's a little bit of the niche ability of the Holy Paladin. You're generally going to put Beacon on the target that's taking the most consistent damage. In 90% of all cases, that's going to be your tank. So you're going to beacon your tank. What does it allow us to do? When we heal other people that aren't beaconed, that heal is transferred to the beacon target as well. So you're effectively healing 2 targets at once. Holy Light, which is our efficient, nice, mana-efficient heal, transfers its healing 100%. So every time you Holy Light somebody else who isn't beaconed, the beacon target also gets 100% of that Holy Light. So you're effectively casting 2 Holy Lights at once. Flash of Light and Divine Light only count for 50% of that healing. That's what you need to bear in mind. So if you think, oh, the party's struggling, tank's nearly dead, I'm going to start Flash of Light and everybody, bear in mind your tank is only getting 50% of that bonus. You need to think about that while you're doing it. Now, spells like Light of Dawn, which heal everybody, etc., also get the benefit of all that onto the beacon. So a Light of Dawn can actually be very effective for the tank. Speed of Light, I love this talent. I was speaking about this talent with Apco, as I said. It grants 3% spell haste anyway. Lovely. Another 3% spell haste on top of the 9% from Judgments and the haste from our gear. So we've got some lovely haste. When we cast Holy Radiance or Divine Protection, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a 60% speed buff. Now, I want you to picture this in a situation where you need to move and heal at the same time. Happens all the damn time. We need to move and heal. Moving and healing. Now, what happens as a Holy Paladin when you move and heal? You generally only have Holy Shock, and it's not very good. By mixing Speed of Light, when we fire off our Holy Radiance, we're now healing everybody around us on the move. We're also getting to our destination quicker so we can start healing again. Very powerful talent, guys. Really important. Sacred Cleansing. We can now cleanse magic as well as our poisons and diseases. We want to pick that up. We've got a lot of magic debuffs in Raise, etc. Go ahead and get that. Conviction gives you a 3% bonus to healing for 15 seconds after causing a crit with a weapon swing or a non-periodic spell or ability. Why it doesn't just say everything, I don't know. So our healing crits are going to buff our healing, etc., etc., etc. It's enough said. It's a lot of words to just say. Basically, when you crit, you're going to get a healing bonus of 3%. Awesome. Aura Mastery. This is our big raid cooldown, guys, and very important as well. In general times, you're going to be using this with your resistance aura. What does Aura Mastery do? It doubles the effects of your aura. Remember, these are your auras down here: Devotion, Ret, Concentration, and Resistance. Now, picture a boss that's doing a big flame breath. A huge fire explosion, anything, flamethrowers, all that kind of shit goes on in Cataclysm, guys. By using a correct aura mastery, you then resist or double the amount of damage that your resistance aura is doing, and that can count for a shitload of damage, especially when it's raid wide. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of damage can be removed from the incoming damage purely because you fired off your aura mastery. If you're in a raid, you want to be coordinate your aura mastery with other cooldowns like Spirit Link Totem, Guardians, Barrier, Divine, things like that. So that's your big raid cooldown. And when we're moving, like I say, when we're moving from a huge firestorm, we've got to do our Holy Radiance, so we're getting our speed of light up, and then we aura mastery as well. While we can't heal because we're moving, we're now also reducing the incoming damage, which makes it a whole lot safer for everybody else. Paragon of Virtue, for such a wonderful name, such a boring talent, reduces the cooldown of our Divine Protection by 20 seconds, Hand of Sacrifice by 30 seconds, and Avenging Wrath by 60 seconds. So it's just going to drop the cooldown on 3 of your main hands, of 2 of your hands, and 1 of your Avenging Wrath. We'll talk about them shortly. Tower of Radiance, heal the target with your Beacon of Light with Flash of Light or Divine Light has a 100% chance to generate a charge of Holy Power. We picked that up because in a lot of cases in Heroics, it's only the tank taking damage, and they might be taking a shitload of damage, and we might need to cast a Divine Light. That's going to generate us some more Holy Power, so we can then go ahead and Word of Glory more, which is free. Remember, it uses Holy Power, not mana. And that's going to really prop up that healing. It's really, really nice. Especially as you get more gear, you start using Divine Light more than Holy Light. That's just a simple factor. When you have a lot of mana and a lot of regen, you tend to use Divine Light a lot more. Blessed Life, we only pick up 1 point in this because we generally shouldn't be taking direct damage, but when we do take some direct damage, we get a 50% chance of generating a charge of Holy Power. It's nice. We're not going to stick 2 points in there because we rarely get the chance to take direct damage. If we were taking direct damage all the time, it's worth picking up 2 just so we get lots of Holy Power all the time without having to use Holy Shocks to fill it in. Then we can use our Light of Dawn and our Word of Glory more. So our final point, as I've mentioned it before, is Light of Dawn. So we have 2 choices now. When we've got our 3 Holy Powers, here we are. I'll generate one off quickly. Boom. See, we get up to Holy Power like that. When we have 3, we can either use our Light of Dawn and our Word of Glory. Light of Dawn is like a cone of cold from a mage, but it heals. Okay, and it looks pretty badass as well. It looks pretty sweet. See? Ooh, very shiny. So we have Light of Dawn, or we have Word of Glory, which is our other heal, which is a single target heal, okay? So depending on your situation, now remember you need to get the people inside the Light of Dawn, inside the cone for it to be effective. And as long as you've got 3 at least, it's worth casting. It's better than Word of Glory, okay, guys? And remember, it's going to, it's just such a powerful AoE heal. Combine that with Holy Radiance, you can start chucking out some great AoE healing. One or the other on its own isn't particularly great. Mixed together, pretty beautiful. So if you know a big AoE damage situation is coming, 1, prepare your Aura Mastery, prepare your Holy Radiance, make sure it's off cooldown, and also get yourself up to 3 Holy Power for a Light of Dawn, and you're just going to smash all that incoming damage out of the park, and nobody's going to be in any danger of dying. Moving out of that tree, Divinity, increase healing done by 6%, blah blah blah, boring. Eternal Glory, this is pretty nice sometimes when it does proc. It's only 30%, but your Word of Glory has a chance to consume no Holy Power. So if you get really lucky in this procs, you can pop off a Word of Glory or a Word of Glory, and then a Light of Dawn straight after it, or 2 Word of Glories in a row, just to turret them off really nicely. It's very rare it happens, but when it does, it's really nice because the mana free. And we like saving mana. We like healing without costing us a thing. And Crusade, why do I pick up this? It increased the healing of our Holy Shock by 30%. In general, we want to be keeping Holy Shock on cooldown, alright guys? That's the real big bonus to that, is we want to make sure we're using Holy Shock a lot. It's got this big fat crit bonus, and it's got a nice big fat healing bonus on top of it as well. So our Holy Shock starts healing for a shitload. There you go, with 14k crits. Nice, costs absolutely jack all. You see that? No mana cost really at all. It's really nice, just keep on cooldown all the time. See, it costs bugger all. And we can just keep turreting those out, generating Holy Power. Really try and keep your Holy Shock and your Judgment on cooldown all the time. So those are the main things for you. Glyphs. Glyph of Divine Favour, because it's so powerful, we want to extend that by another 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time to have that big haste and crit healing buff. Glyph Seal of Insight, we keep Glyph of Insight on all the time anyway, and now we've got a 5% healing bonus while we've got Glyph of Insight on, Seal of Insight on, so win-win. And Glyph of Holy Shock, again increasing the crit chance of your Holy Shock. You can see now why crit is not too great for a Holy Paladin at all. Major glyphs are a little bit tricky on a Holy Paladin because they're also fucking good, and that is annoying for a lot of other classes. I play every single class in the game, and as you know, there's a lot of shitty major glyphs out there. Not for a Holy Paladin, they have loads to choose from. The ones I've gone with have Glyph's Cleansing, because I cleanse a lot in Heroics. I don't want it to cost a lot, because Cleanse in general costs a ton of mana. And that's with 20% reduced mana. You can see it costs more than a Holy Shock. So I generally want that. Glyph of Lay on Hands. Lay on Hands is really powerful. So it gives you not only is it instantly going to heal the tank up to full health, but it's also going to give you 10% of your mana back. Now we've reduced that to 7 minutes instead of the 10-minute cooldown. We can generally maybe even get it off twice in some fights, or at least we'll have it back off cooldown for us for the next boss fight in general. This is really good for me. Glyph of Divine Protection. Now we spoke about this on the Prop Warrior, the Prop Paladin spec. This glyph turns your Divine Protection from stop being physical damage but to magical damage. Now as a healer we generally don't take a lot of physical damage. The tank should have aggro, but we are going to be definitely coming up against magical damage troubles. And while that is happening, we want to make sure that we're getting this reduction of damage as well. So just by popping that, we've got a nice 40% magical damage reduction on demand. It's really, really nice, guys. Absolutely love it. That covers everything. We're going to jump into our run so I can demonstrate which spells you should be using where and when, and we're going to have some good times. All right, guys, let's see what we get.